This is Just a Few Questions. I'm your host, Marc Sims from Chicago. I have Benny J on the line. Benny J, you there?
I'm there.
You know, Benny
Looking out
J,
the
was
window.
it hard when you were in I think in grammar school in Maine? I think it's Maine you were at. Was it hard for people to pronounce your name, Joravsky?
Oh my God! How much time do we have? I could talk about this for hours. I'm kidding. You're like a therapist.
Yeah, it's better
Yeah.
than being a
Oh my,
therapist.
you have no idea. Yeah, I could talk about this forever. Yes, it's been butchered. I've long since just gotten used to it. I don't really care what people. I'm so used to people butchering it that I really don't even hear it anymore.
Yeah, we do Benny J is much better. It's much easier.
Yeah,
Joravsky.
Pretty much everybody who knows me calls me Benny.
Yeah.
Like who's known me for a long time, or who.
Benny J,
but
we talked
Benny
earlier.
J is what the bowling team calls me. So
Yeah, Benny J.
anyway, I'm fine with it.
Benny J is cool. How you feeling with this coronavirus, man? You still scared? You cool? Because you're of that age, we should be worried about you.
Yes, you like to remind me of that. You're right behind me.
I'm right behind you. Listen, my health is not 100% either. I mean, you cool.
You're right behind me.
I think you're more healthy than me, and I'm much younger than you, if you will.
I'm not sure about much younger. You're the class of 1979, finger high.
No, it's 1980s when I dropped out. 1980.
1980.
Yes.
Okay, I had it 1 year off.
Yeah.
You were there when they were filming when Blues Brothers came out.
Yes.
I think of you and Blues Brothers. I just said that. I never thought of you and Blues Brothers ever. But I do remember Blues Brothers in the summer of '79. Remember when they shut down Lakeshore Drive? Anyway,
yes, yeah. But but you're feeling okay. It's good, right?
I'm feeling okay. I'm probably like a lot of people. Every now and then, I get paranoid that I'm getting it. So far, touch wood, I haven't. But yeah, I'm locked in the house. Stay home most of the time. Do my show from my attic, and just waiting this thing out, like everybody else, trying not to lose my mind.
Do you think your President Trump has done a very good job handling the crisis?
No, absolutely not. He's the worst president that I've ever lived through, and it's tough competition because George W. Bush was pretty bad. He got us into two wars that we're still not completely out of, and Richard Nixon, of course, was an inebriated insomniac. But I think that Donald John Trump is the worst president because he's just so willfully ignorant about the consequences of his actions, and he's so intolerant of people who dare to oppose him. And he's just such an overall nasty, mean-spirited guy that he was willing to leave people, thousands and thousands of people vulnerable because he didn't want to acknowledge that there was a virus coming to the country that he couldn't control, that he wasn't just in charge of absolutely everything. He didn't want to admit that there was something wrong under his watch. So now here we are.
It's okay.
We're totally
the virus will be gone.
Yep.
It will be gone in a couple of months, and we'll be back to normal. It's going to be great.
Yeah. We don't even have masks and gowns for the hospital workers. Absolutely inexcusable.
It is.
I mean, if I really did the deep dive, I think about George Bush being asleep at the wheel right before 9/11. But this was unbelievable. We had prior warning. The word of the virus and it was coming out of China. He talks about how I closed down flights from China. That's his big thing. That's all he did. He keeps talking about it. And he's relentlessly self-promoter. But he's a terrible
We can
president.
talk about Trump forever. Let's end this Trump talk about if the election was held today, he may still have a really good chance of winning. His popularity is still there.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's true. I've been having this argument now for over a year. Most of my Democratic friends are just always filled with gloom and doom about Donald Trump. He intimidates them. A lot of Democrats I know are not used to wrestling or trash-talking football players or boxing, and Donald Trump learned a lot from the wrestling game and trash talkers. So he trash talks all the time, and a lot of Democrats get intimidated by it. He didn't win the last election. Just want to remind you that Hillary Clinton got the most votes, and I don't think he'll win this election. I think whoever runs, Biden, whoever the nominee is, I still harbor hopes that they're going to substitute someone for Biden. We'll get into that.
Yeah, you've written a few articles. I think you have one out coming out today. You say, right?
Yeah, well, I just wrote it.
Oh,
Joe Biden.
In the Chicago Reader, the Chicago Reader, the Chicago Reader, the Chicago Reader.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But go on. Just let me finish my thought. So I don't believe if Marc Sims ran against Donald Trump, if Sergio Mims ran against Donald Trump, they would probably win the popular vote. Now, could they win the states of Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania? I do not know that. But Donald Trump, I believe, is exceedingly unpopular in this country, and the majority of voters will vote against him. That's my opinion, and nothing has changed since 2016 when Hillary Clinton got more votes than he did.
Well, things are going so fast. We don't know what November, what's going to happen in November. But hopefully by then, the people will say, you know what, I haven't voted in 10 years, but this year I'm going to vote to get this guy out. Because I don't think this country can take another 4.5 years of Trump. Do you?
No, I'm with you on that. Again, going back to how he handled this coronavirus scare, he just has an indifference to facts, hostility toward them. He wants to bend everything to fit his political needs, and it doesn't work that way. So he's prevailed largely because he's got the Mitch McConnell in the Senate, and thanks to Fox TV and the Electoral College, he's got 45% of the country willing to go off a cliff. Did you see what Jerry Falwell Jr. did with Liberty University in Virginia? Did you see that by any chance?
I know. I don't want to talk about Jerry Falwell Jr.
All right, but he opened up the university.
I know.
He wanted to prove to the liberal media that he thought it was a hoax, that he thought coronavirus was a hoax. Now people are coming down sick. I mean, that's how crazy they are.
This is what you're dealing with in this country. We'll see how this coronavirus multiplies in the South. We'll see what happens later on. No, you got me thinking about Joe Biden. Okay. Joe Biden, don't you think, Benny J, don't you think the Democratic Party has a plan just in case Joe Biden is not able to take this nomination to November?
Yes. Okay. Yes. This is something we talk about on my show. I'm starting to talk about it more and more. And the reality is this. I'm going to get in trouble saying this. I always get in trouble with the Biden lovers out there because they love Joe Biden. It's really bizarre how much they love him. But there's clearly something off about Joe Biden. And Democrats are in denial on this subject. And I struggle with it myself because part of me, I say this all the time, I just wrote this, I realize that being able to complete a sentence and articulate a thought is overrated in politics. I joke about this all the time. Mayor Daley won election after election, and he couldn't finish a sentence. So voters clearly don't care that much about whether you're articulate. Donald Trump, half the time, sounds like he's doped up on something. And like yesterday, he went on this riff about it was the masks in factories in New York that made it. The riff made no sense. It was at a press conference in the White House in response to a question from Alcindor from PBS.
Yeah, that was something to watch, wasn't it? Jeez.
Yeah, that was something. I give her a lot of credit. She's got a lot of guts. And it made no sense. I defy anybody to explain what the hell he was talking about. There was no rhyme or reason to it. There was no setup to it. It made no sense at all. So, and he's, like I said, 45% of the country is willing to walk off a cliff for him. So being articulate and being able to express yourself is obviously not a requirement to get elected. That said, half the time Joe Biden talks, you never know where he's going to go.
But if Joe Biden's able to stumble to the election and win, we know the odds are in big odds that the vice president, whoever he picks, is going to become president.
Well, so that's now you're sounding like Tracy Bain, who came on the show this week. She said the same thing, that he needs a very strong vice president, and that he needs somebody that can take over for the job. And even if he's still around, that vice president is going to run the office, much like Cheney ran the office for Bush, only in a good way as opposed to a negative way, the way Cheney did it. So that's the prevailing wisdom. And the prevailing wisdom is that of the Democratic electorate is that you just need a genial candidate who is the counter Trump to win. It doesn't matter if that person can complete a sentence. It doesn't matter if that person disappears for a week. It doesn't matter what that person believes in. It just has to be the anti-Trump, and that person will win. That's the prevailing wisdom of the Democratic voters. That's the prevailing wisdom of the best minds in the center swing of the Democratic Party. We'll see if it works. I'm going to vote for Biden if he's a nominee. No doubt. I don't want anybody to think I won't, but
no, but they're prepared. Trust me, the Democratic Party is prepared. I mean, they're very prepared. And
all right, so what you're saying without saying it is that you think at some point Barack Obama go to Joe Biden quietly behind the scenes and say, Joe, for the good of the team, you're going to have to step down and let Andrew Cuomo be the nominee. That's what you're saying.
It all depends if he does really good or decent during the debates, and that's going to be a big test. Can he handle the debates? And if he's still what's the fancy term I was using with Sergio on the show the other day, non compos mentis. If he's of sound mind, if he's of sound mind and stumble to November, he'll be in and we'll be sworn in, and hopefully we'll be prepared with a really good vice president to step in whenever that person has to step in.
That's the strategy. Let me just tell you what an iffy strategy that is. By the way, so if listen, every smart, well-positioned Democratic operative I've talked to says there's no way Barack Obama's going to go to Biden and say that. So stop fantasizing about it, Ben. So I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if it does happen, it will have to happen long before the October debates with Trump. It will have to happen in the summer. It'll have to happen around the time the Democrats were having their convention. Remember, the Democrats may not even have a convention this summer because of the coronavirus. We have no idea. Everything's up in the air. So there's so many factors at play that we can't predict that may determine all this. So I don't know if any of this will happen, but if it does, it'll happen like during the summer. And I think a lot of Democrats their eyes are open when they see how, just to give two examples, Cuomo and Pritzker are handling the crisis. How they come before the public on a regular basis, how they reassure people, how they show empathy, how they give you accurate information, how they don't try to sugarcoat things. They don't live in a fantasy world. In contrast to Trump,
I know.
You know,
Ben, I got to cut you off. I got to cut you off. We got 1 minute left. I'm serious. They'll cut me off. 1 minute. Do you think Chicago and the rest of this country will get back to a normal? And when would this happen? 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 8 weeks? When do we get back to normal? And how do we get back to normal?
I do not know the answer to that. I'm taking it day by day, Mark, just like you are. I do not know the answer to that. I just saw an article in the paper that said this could be the way of life throughout the summer. So I wish I had an answer for that, but I don't have an answer for that.
Well, when I have you back next time, I'm going to talk about the economic depression we'll be having in the next month. Oh, man,
more depressing news.
I mean, you got your health and you got this economic depression. It's really, I know there's a lot of folks out there scared, but and Trump is not helping. It'd be nice to have a Barack Obama as president right now. Jeez.
I'll take him. I'll take him.
I mean, for all the Barack Obama haters out there, wouldn't you love to have Barack there right now? President Obama?
He would be the ideal captain at the helm. He was so calm and cool, and he had such a great presence. So yes,
Benny J. How can we listen to your show? Just type in the Benny J Show. Spell your name for people.
First name Ben, and here comes the hard one. Everybody, get the paper and pencil out. Jorav, V as in victory, SKY. Just type that into Google, and you'll find the show.
You're the man. It's been a pleasure. I'll talk to you very, very soon.
Take care, Marc Sims.
Thanks, Ben.